Changing minds one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Changing Minds Online. How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm doing great, Akina. I know we both are losing our voice today. I think I might have sent my voice issues across the country to you. I'm still in California. I just finished my marathon today. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. It just happened today, but
yeah,
we're not going to let that stop us.
Absolutely. Tonight, guys, we apologize for both of us losing our voice. There is something, I guess, in the energy field. It's not in the air because we're not breathing the same air, but nevertheless, we have an exciting topic tonight. I know, Akina, you chose our topic, so why don't you let our listeners know what we're going to be talking about?
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about beginning again. This week, I have encountered many people that have had different obstacles, but they started their lives again. No matter what the obstacle was, they were able to counter it, conquer it, and then begin again. And so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to share this with our listeners today. What do you think about that, Jessica?
Yeah, absolutely. I just came back I'm actually not even really I haven't even come back yet, actually, but I am still in California, and many of you may know that, I went out there for a conference for the network marketing company that I use, and, it was called our New Year's Kickoff is what the name of the event was. And it's really about beginning again. And, every year, every day, not even every year, but every day we get an opportunity to start new, no matter where we are in our life. A lot of times, we tend to focus on, especially women, we focus on what, isn't working or what we did wrong. And the truth is we always get to start over. One of the things that's wonderful that this company just did is they said, okay, we're going to act as if today was the first day you're in the company, which reset all like the rank advancement bonuses. And for me, it's like I woke up this morning thinking like, wow, it's as if I got a brand new start on life. And I really, I love this topic, and we didn't even speak about what the topic would be before today. But, I feel like I just got a new lease on life, and I'm ready to start like from the beginning and just move forward. So it's a great time, and it's a great time of year. I know, we're already moving towards the end of January, but still in the beginning of the year to really think about, like, how do I begin? And a lot of us are beginning on our journey.
Wonderful. So tell us about your conference, Jessica. Tell us about that motivation to get for you to start new. What are you going to start new for?
Well, for me, and what I really got to take away from the conference that I'm with is that I get to change people's lives every day. And, as a professional network marketer, one of the things that I think is so amazing and wonderful is the ability I have to offer an opportunity for everyone to live their life differently and live their life on their own terms. You may have seen I put a message or a little video on Facebook, and I was kind of sitting in a hot tub soaking after my run. Then what I was saying is that I got really connected to my why and, like, my purpose of, like, why I'm doing this. And I realized, like, my purpose is that all women get to live their life of their dreams. Our mission on Changing Mind Online is that all women are empowered and inspired to live to create the life of their dreams. And for me, it's really by finding and living into your purpose. And I get included in that. Like, I get to create the life I want to live too. But what I really got connected to is that I want all women to have the opportunity to create the life the way they want to live it. So many people are just slaves to a 9-to-5 job, and they're in debt that they can't get out of, and that they're running around on this cycle and this circle, and there's seemingly no way out, and they're putting their dreams, their ambitions aside. And I got to run today. It was beautiful, beautiful weather for running. in the 60s, ideal marathon temperatures. It was in sunny California. The ocean was to my right and the palm trees, and it was just beautiful. There were birds, and it was just wonderful. And I said, wow, like, I get to do this, and I get to do this because I decided that I want to, and that, this is the way I want to live my life. I don't want to be in New York this weekend because it's cold this weekend. And I could have run next weekend in New York, but I said, no, I want to be in California where it's beautiful and sunny and warm and not icy. And I get to do that because I decided to take my life into my hands. And what I really got connected to when it comes to starting over is that I want to make sure that all the women on this call who are listening in tonight get to take their lives into their own hands too. And, for me, a lot up until now, excuse me, up until now, and I'm going to be honest with the listeners and very raw and just speak from my heart, I think that the place that I was in was that I wanted to inspire everyone, and I did, and a lot of the calls we did were very inspirational. But now I really want to take it a step further, and that's how I'm starting over. Yes, it's important to be inspired and find your purpose, and I know our listeners love those topics. But what I really want to make sure is that all of our listeners are also empowered, because it's one thing to say you want to take your life into your own hands and to get connected to that, and it's another thing to have a vehicle and opportunity to do that. And, I truly believe I found that vehicle, and I'm just going to, let everyone know out there right now that, moving forward with the commitment you have from me is to make sure that you, too, have the vehicle that you need to take your life into your hands, because you deserve it. And that's kind of where I'm going to start new right now, is a new commitment to make sure that everyone gets to go. Not just me, not just I get to take my life into my own hands and empower and inspire people by telling them what my life looks like now that I'm living the life I want to live, but know that, you get to go, too. You get to create your life, too. And that's my commitment to our listeners, and that's my commitment from right now. That's where I'm beginning again.
Wow, Jessica, that is awesome. That is awesome. And, I know that we are saying that this is our year of execution, so that is a perfect commitment and way to start. When we talk about beginning again and starting over and all these wonderful things, we have to have a foundation, we have to have a base, and our commitment is our base. It is our foundation. We have to want it more than anybody else wants it for us, more than anybody else can make us do it. We have to want it for ourselves, or it's not going to really truly be successful. It's not going to be a success for us. Until we have decided that this is what we want to do, we are committed to doing it, and it's our success, not anybody else's success. And that's why beginning again is so important. Because we have to want it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not only that we have to want it, and it's so true that it's powerful that we need to want. We do. I mean, it's required that we want it, because it does when we're starting again, right? Starting is an action verb, right? It's something that we actually do, and there are ways of being around it as well. But it is actually something that we do. We go out and we do something when we're starting, right? Today when I started my marathon, they said, ready, set, go. When I started running, I started doing something. And really, living your life, starting on your dreams. And maybe you've put your dreams on a shelf for now because you thought they weren't possible. And, yeah, it is about starting, and it's about wanting to do that. But it's also about two things. It's about believing, truly from your heart, that you deserve it. That's the first thing. And that's where I think so many people have this difficulty. It's this difficulty, this block that, they're not worthy, that they don't matter. And it's just, to me, it's this is a struggle I had, too, where I thought, well, why would I get to do that? Who am I? Why am I so special? What about me is important enough that I would get to live my life differently than everybody else, and I would get to live the life of my dreams. And then I had this internal dialogue that was like, well, who do you think you are? And what I realized is that, I'm a child of God who was made in his image. And God is powerful, and God is love, and God is abundance, and God wants me to be happy. He is joyful. He wants me to live the life that I want to live. And then I deserve it, and I may not be perfect, and I may have made mistakes, but I am worthy. I am enough just because he made me and he loves me, and that nothing else is required. I don't have to do anything to deserve it, because there's nothing that you could do. There's really just no evidence that you could accumulate that you're worthy of it. It's really just deciding, I do get this, and I am worth it. And for me, the way that you get best connected to the fact that your life does matter and that you get to go is to really live your life in contribution to others. If you are having that conversation of why does my life matter and I'm not really worthy of it, there's a lot of things you can do. You can meditate, you can pray, you can go back to a spiritual guide, whatever. For me, I love Jesus. He's my go-to every day and every night and every moment of in between, and for me, that's where I get my that I really matter. It may be something different for you, and that's okay. You can go to that area. But I think one of the best things to do is to be in service to others. For me, I love passing out food, to the homeless in the community I live in. It's something I'm very passionate about. It could be as simple as just buying something extra and giving it to someone I see who's hungry. It could be something as just pouring greatness into people. Tell people how wonderful they are. It doesn't have to cost anything. You can go onto Facebook and just make people's days better. Call a friend and just listen to them. There's so many ways that you can just help and bless others. And when you're helping and blessing others, it's when you really become closest to God. God is the giver of all things, and whether or not you want to call it God or Lord or the universe, right? There's something that where all goodness and everything comes from. So when we give ourselves, we're going as close as we can to that source of all goodness. And that's when we're really going to really start to realize that we do matter, because we're going to see a very tangible result, and we're going to get to experience what it feels like to actually get to create that for another person. And, the second big thing that a lot of people have a struggle with is not around the fact that they don't deserve it, because there are people, and this was my second struggle. My first struggle was believing I deserved it. And my second struggle was believing I was capable. For example, a lot of times people might say, well, this person can do it, but I can't. Or I might believe in an industry, but I don't believe in my ability to be successful in that industry. And to be completely transparent and authentic, that's what it was like for me when I first started network marketing. I thought, wow, this is a phenomenal way that women can empower themselves. And I looked at the facts and figures and numbers and statistics, and I'm like, oh my goodness, more women who are making six-figure incomes are doing it in network marketing than anywhere else. But I got involved with the company I'm with now, and it's not like I automatically had all the skills, and so I wasn't always successful at first. And I kind of built up this story that, well, yes, I'm seeing my friends and I'm seeing the leaders of the company do it, but they can do it, and I believe in it for them, but I don't believe in it for me. I can't do it. And that's where a lot of women have that struggle. And, what I want to let you know is that, you can, you're enough. And sometimes it's, really hard to see yourself there. And I get it. I get what that struggle is, because it goes down to the core of, our self-esteem issues and the limiting beliefs we have about ourselves. And those things are, really tough to change. It requires, constant daily effort to make a difference in those areas. And it really comes down to like releasing the story you created about what you can't do, on a daily basis. And, you might wake up in the morning and it might be there, even if you released it the night before, but that's okay. Just release it again. And, finding a mentor or finding someone close to you that you love that can see you there when you don't see it for yourself can be really helpful. For me, one of the most, I think, important things for me, or the most important people for me, were the people in my life that when I didn't see myself there, saw me there. And Akina, like, you were one of those people. When we first started this podcast, I thought, like, well, I can't do this. Like, yeah, I hear people doing podcasts, so I knew it was possible for people to do podcasts, but I was like, but I can't do it. I mean, how am I going to talk for 30 minutes? How am I going to come up with something people want to say? I mean, there was all these stories I had that I created about it. And, other people held me to a standard and saw me in a place where I didn't see myself yet. And that was really, really helpful, because little by little, I borrowed from their belief until now I believe in myself. And I believe that I'm going to absolutely, and I am, not that I will, but I am, changing the world. Kina, we say we're changing minds online. Like, it's true. Like, I love every one of you genuinely from the bottom of my heart who listen to this call. And, like, I believe that, like, I have this ability that I can help you. I can help you make your life better. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's what I really got to understand. And when you feel that, I mean, it's just a whole different type of transformation. You take your life to a whole new level. And if you can't see yourself there now, like, it's okay. You will. Do your affirmations. That's why we put out an affirmation and gratitude journal. Like, we don't put these products out just because, they're deliberate. He and I have done the transformation work. We've taken our life and we've done the change. The things that we've put out are the things that we did to help us get there. I mean, using affirmations, writing down what I'm thankful for, and focusing on the good in my life, like, that's how I got here. Among other things, there was other work I did. I did transformation work, and that's absolutely amazing. I mean, if you can do that kind of work, and it's an experiential courses, go look in your area and see what there is. I love Synergy Education. That's where I did my work. If you're based in New York or anywhere where you can get to New York City, I love that school. But there are others, and it's a wonderful experience. But if you don't have the time or money, or it's not in your area, start with that. And it is a process. It's not like a switch. You're not going to, like, flip a switch one day and then you do have your breakthroughs, and people have their breakthrough moments where they make, like, big gains. But it's a process of creating a new story, in transformation work. They say kind of a new context, a new place that you come from. And when you get to come from a different place, you realize that you get to just be a little bit different. And when you get to be a little bit different, you start to do things a little bit differently. And when you do things a little bit differently, that's when your results start to change. And that's really what it means to begin again. It's not always about doing something different. It's about being a little bit different. It's like, yes, we said, okay, that, like, starting again requires that you do something. We said that in the very beginning. I said, when they say the marathon, ready, set, go. But it doesn't always have to look different. Don't necessarily sit there and focus too much on what you actually need to do, because the truth is, the more important question is, like, who are you going to be? Who are you going to be this time around? What about who you are as a person is working? And what about who you are as a person is not working? And, like, face it and deal with it and surrender your ego. Like, this year, like, one of the commitments I made this week in Mom's Away is that this year I'm going to really surrender my ego. And, my ego, and I'll share it with everybody, and ego, for those of you who may not know the language, ego is just really kind of that reactionary part of us, right? The part of us who maybe we've built up some sort of defense. That's kind of our ego. My ego is that I can be very closed. I want to be perfect all the time. I want to look perfect all the time, and I live in my head a lot. I'm always worried about saying the right thing or doing the right thing or looking the right way. And that's what I've made a commitment to give up. And that's where I'm going to start again. Is I'm just going to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be that way anymore. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to let you guys see my heart on these calls from now on. And that's how I know I'm going to be able to get to empower you the way that I'm empowered. So that's my question for you when you're looking at starting over. Don't necessarily set. Game plans are great, right? I made a 90-day game plan, this weekend. You need a plan of action. We know you need a plan of action. Yeah, that's true. We talked to you about. We've told you we taught you how to do them already, but you know how to do that. You know how to make a plan. But more importantly, who you're going to be while you're implementing that plan. That's the really critical question I want you to take away from that call tonight. And write it down. Make a list of the qualities that you want people to see how you're going to show up in this world.
Awesome, Jessica. That was wonderful. I put a post on Facebook, and this is a perfect time for everyone to, just answer back. I said, share your vision boards with us. Share your dreams for 2015. We all need accountability partners. We all need support systems, and we want to be that for you. And that's part of your starting over. Make your list. Make it visual. If it's a list, post a list. If it's a vision board, post a vision board. We want to help you make sure that you go through your dreams. We want to leave notes on your vision board and say, how's things going? Tell us about where you are this month. How can we help you? We want to make this a support system. We want to make this a true sisterhood or brotherhood and really get in there and make these dreams come true. You have the support system in us. So use us and, go for those dreams. Because, it's one thing to think you don't have support, and it's another thing to not use the support. You have the support. We're here for you. So now use the support. Reach out to us, and we'll reach back out to you. Beginning again is so important. I've had to do it many times myself. As Jessica was saying, we all have to reinvent. We all have to start again. We all have to begin again. 2 major points in my life where I had to scrap everything and start over again was with my doctorate degree. In the middle of my program, they decided to switch the whole program on me, and so what I would have had 18 months.
Akina, are you still on the call? It sounds like we might have lost you. Well, guys, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm not hearing Akina talk, but and I'm not even sure if you can hear me. But regardless, and we can kind of wrap up the call because it's coming right to that 6:30 point. And what we want you to take from this call today, and I do hope you guys are hearing this, is that no matter where you are, no matter what you've done, no matter how many times what you did in the past just didn't work, you get to start over. You are worthy to start over. You are capable of starting over. And that no matter what it is that you want in your life, you're enough to go out and create it. Create a plan, take the action, and make a choice of how you're going to show up in this world. Who do you want to be? And I really want to hear from you. And I'm losing my voice, and so I apologize. But on that note, I want you to just go onto our Facebook page And I want you to write down, 3 ways that you want to show up in this world, that you want people to see you. If you had your best friend, write down 3 words your best friend would describe you. And then think about those 3 things and how you get to be those 3 things while you're showing up, while you're implementing this new plan, this new action plan. For me, love, joy, and abundance. Those are the 3 ways I want people to see me. I want people to see me as loving. I want people to see me as joyful. And I want people to see me as abundant. Those are the 3 most important things for me and to me. So whatever they are for you, share them with us. We love you. I know you are going to have an absolute powerful year, and with anything that I can do to create that, to help you to create that, to help you make it happen, please reach out to me, because from the bottom of my heart, I truly want you to create your life by design. We love you. God bless. Have a great night.
Yes, we love you. Each and every one of you.
So, Akina, you're back.
Thank you.
You're back. Good. I'm sorry. We had lost you for a little while.
Yes,
very good. Is there anything you want to add before we end the call tonight?
Yes. If something that we said today touched you, please find this episode on ChangeYourMindsOnline.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Tuned In, and, of course, Podomatic. We want to help you. We want to empower you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know what you would like to hear. Let us know what you would like to talk about, because we do these shows for you, to motivate, empower, and inspire you. So we would love your input. So like Jessica said, go on and post your 3 words that's most important to you for 2015 on our board. We would love to hear you, and we'd love to support you. So with that, we both love you, and we thank you for listening, and we thank you for being part of our experience. Good night, everyone.